Welcome into SBR Madness Morning Edition, the first ever episode of SBR Madness in the morning with Maxwell Smart. I am Drew Martin. Happy March 12th to you. It's conference tournament time. We got the big conferences starting this morning. Maxwell Smart on Twitter at Maxwell Smart 420. Welcome in to the show, Max. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It was an up and down night last night, but did hit the low bag play of the day with the over North Dakota State, Western Illinois. So that brings me a little bit of joy and regained dignity. So I'm excited, hyped. I'm fucking even a little bit angry. I want to get this card rolling. I want to get cashing. I love this time of year. This is when we see the purest, best version of college basketball.
It is. It's a great time to be a sports bettor. It's a lot of fun to watch late night, during the day. We got games tipping at 12 Eastern and big boy basketball. I know you like the small conferences, but the ACC tournament's starting at noon as well. Max, what's got you angry before we get into these games?
I like to get myself hyped up when I'm capping games. And usually when I get hyped up, that turns into anger, you know? You're beating on your chest, you're listening to some hard music, and it just gets you going and motivated and wanting to cash some tickets, serve all of our bookies lots of cock soup. And of course, when we're done this 2-week stretch of 7 days on with shows, then we'll support local strippers. But that's just how I am. I'm a little upbeat. I'm a little angry sometimes, but it's all good fun.
Well, so we'll try to win some money for the watchers as far as that, so they can help their local strippers. It's going to be tough for me and you to help our local strippers, man. We like you just said, 7 days a week of shows for the next 2 weeks here on the SBR YouTube channel. So you ready to kind of bear down and get after it, man?
Oh, I'm ready. I emptied fluids already. I said my goodbyes to my favorite strippers, Mandy the doctor. So I'm ready. You know, I know that this is going to be a test on my degenerateness. If I can hold out, but I will hold out, and then I will spew fluids everywhere.
Spewing the fluids. We'll leave it at that as far as the pre-game speech here. We got 601, 602, top of the card, using SBR odds right now, guys. 12 Eastern tip. This one on ESPN2, first round of the ACC tournament. I'm looking at the first half stats here, Max, but mainly because I got a big, my biggest bet of the day is a first half game. On the second game we'll talk about, but full game here, 141.5 as the total. Looks like the Canes laying 6.5 or 7. Screen just went black, got touched to 7. There's still a 6.5 at bookmaker. I'm guessing you don't agree with this line move on Miami from talking in past Hurricane games with you. I'm with you. I think that this Canes team, it's just a banged up team, not much depth there. I believe they only rotate about 7 guys in through an ACC schedule that gets grueling. We're at the end of that regular season schedule into the postseason, going against the Wake team. Obviously, they're playing in the first round of the ACC tournament, so it's not like they've had a great season by any means. But the Demon Deacons catching 7, that's the side I look. How are you looking to bet Wake Forest, Miami?
Yeah, full game. I'm looking to get on Wake Forest. I think I'm also going to go half a unit on the first half. Listen, this Wake Forest team has beaten this Miami team. We do remember the beautiful game-winning shot by Brandon Childress that I was just losing my goddamn mind over. The way that Miami blew that game, it just shows that's what kind of performance you're going to get from Miami on the road so far this season. This is a team that is winless on the road. So obviously, I cannot bet on this team at the point range that they're at. Our sponsor of the show, Heritage, they're hanging a 7.5 right now on Miami. And I'm going to have to jump on the opposite side of that. I'm going to have to take that Wake Forest plus 7.5 minus 105. I just think this is too many points for a team that hasn't won on the road. If they'd won on the road, then okay, I would consider it. But I can't consider it like this. This is how I look at it. Wake Forest has to stop Miami from getting hot from 3. That was what they scored a good bulk of their points off. the 2 previous games. They need to keep Chris Lykes off the line because in the first game at Coral Gables, Chris Lykes was 14 for 14 from the free throw line. Wake Forest has to keep the turnovers down. They got to hit the offensive glass. You got Jalen Horde, put him to work. He's got a slim frame, but he's built. He has broad shoulders. He knows how to box out. He can get on the offensive glass. And don't forget, you also got 2 7-footers that you can throw in. Akina Smart, the transfer from Buffalo, and what's his name? Oliver Sarr, who's a legit 7-footer, but he's questionable with an injury. So I don't know how much run he's going to get, but you figure that you're going to get 28 to 30 minutes from the combined 2 big men, and that could throw Miami off because we know that Miami's only going to be playing 7 deep. Wake Forest plays good 3-point defense usually, almost 30%, a little above that. But they hit 74% of their free throws. And the way that Chandre Brown and Brandon Childress have been playing, that is a backcourt that I can say that is semi-reputable. I'm not completely vouching for it, but I think that today they're going to be able to come in and they're going to be able to cover the 7.5 points. Miami's 4-10 ATS on the road, 39% 3-point defense. The only thing that you have to worry about is how they force turnovers. They force 13 a game, 8.5 steals a game. And they're 3-point oriented. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a contrast of styles. These teams know each other now after 2 games. I look for it to be a close game, and I look for it to go under.
Man, he is Maxwell Smart 420 on Twitter. Obviously knows his stuff. Great breakdown there, Max, man. A lot of different angles going at that one. I agree with you, man. I think Miami plus the points, and as far as the high water mark is the most points you can get, is at Heritage right now, 7.5. So take that extra half a point at Heritage and run with Wake Forest and the points as the underdog. That's the side I would recommend as well. So great breakdown, Max. And as Max was talking, seeing the wording come at the bottom of the screen there. Heritage, the sponsor of the show, teaming up with SBR to give 2 watchers out there tickets to the Final Four, plus hotel airfare paid for. All you got to do is mention SBR in the tweet, and also check out SBR Sports Picks for more information, exactly what you have to do. Mention them in the tweet with a screenshot of your bet there. So two watchers getting tickets, trip, all paid for to the Final Four. Thank you to Heritage. Thank you to SBR Sports Picks for that. Max, moving down the card here, we got another ACC game at 2:30 Eastern, 6:03, 6:04. We got Notre Dame at Georgia Tech. Notre Dame -2, 127 being the total. Great breakdown on the first game. I got a first half bet on this, but I'll let you go first, man. Interested to see your opinion if you're on the same side. What are you thinking here, Irish and Yellow Jackets?
Yeah, I think that the key for Georgia Tech is obviously going to be guarding without fouling. You're going to have to contain Nate Laszewski and John Mooney on the offensive glass, and you got to force more turnovers and commit less turnovers, because Tempo Gibbs, he's a guy that he's going to be able to pick your pocket. In the game that they played already this year, he had 4 steals on his own, so you definitely have to be aware of that. You definitely have to be aware of the fact that the freshman Nate Laszewski is actually coming on very strongly as of late. And John Mooney's been going through a couple shooting funks. He is coming off for a 1-for-11 game, so I do expect a better performance. But this is all about Georgia Tech for me. This is all about James Banks. James Banks has shown himself to be a very diverse player. He's going to score points. He's going to be efficient from the field. He's going to get on the glass, and he's going to protect the rim. This is a guy that you can expect him to get 3 to 5 blocks a game. Like, he doesn't average it, obviously, but this is a guy that's really come on as of late. I think that he's the perfect element for this Georgia Tech offense, and he's not too shabby on defense either. So I think that it's really going to come down to another guy who's also emerged in Moses Wright, who's coming off an 18-point game. I think that he needs to be able to replicate that. I think that this Georgia Tech team is finally figuring it out at the best time of year. They did lose one close game and then one not close game, I believe, to Notre Dame already this season. I could be wrong on that. But I just think that this Georgia Tech team is going to be able to freaking take care of business today as a 2-point dog. I'm jumping on Georgia Tech. The game is 6-1. Georgia Tech 6-1 to the over when the total's between 120 and 129.5. They're 9-4 ATS on the road. They're going to be +7 in turnovers. The only issue for me is their free throw shooting, which is 64%.
Yeah, but just looking at their schedules right now, seeing Notre Dame lost to Georgia Tech on January 22nd, 63-61. That one was in Atlanta, so a close game there in the first one. And then on this second trip, this one in South Bend, they won by 10, 69-59. So 1-1 on the season, with Notre Dame winning at home by 10 and Georgia Tech winning by 2 in Atlanta. So that's the regular season series there. And you're liking Georgia Tech on the full game?
Yeah, I'm liking Georgia Tech on the full game, and I'm leaning towards the under in this game. I think that it's set at a really good number, but as we all know, when my main man Noli knows is on the under, I usually get on it also.
That's right. Noli knows his stuff, and yeah, we'll give some love to the chat box here. But want to just say what I'm betting here, Max. I was hanging out with one of my buddies. He went to Notre Dame, really smart guy, and knows basketball real well. And he told me about a trend that he noticed watching the Irish. One, Mike Bray, it's a team he's looking to bet on next year. He says 3 of their starters were freshmen. And Mike Bray, the head coach, he's not a guy that does well with young kids, he's noticed. And so having those guys be sophomores, even here towards the end of the regular season and the tournament now, you have noticed Notre Dame's played in some competitive games down the stretch. They've lost a lot, but keep in mind, this is the ACC, man. If you're losing competitive games in the ACC, sometimes you can just be a good team and there's just other good teams. And what, they've lost to 3 by Pittsburgh, 2 to Clemson, but even more so, it's a team that drops off in the second half. First half, this Notre Dame team has played well. I went back, fact-checked it early this morning. I stayed out a little bit too late, had a couple beers, but this morning woke up, a bunch of cups of coffee. And Notre Dame, I'm looking at Notre Dame minus a half a point first half. Reason why, the last 5 games, their second half scoring margin has been minus 5 points. They're getting kind of blown out just in the second half. First half scoring margin plus 0.3 for the full season. In an ACC schedule, they're actually ahead in the first half throughout their whole season. I was kind of fascinated by that, considering Notre Dame's 13-18, but they have played better in the first half. And that includes, just in the last 2 weeks, winning at Pitt in the first half, tied with Clemson, tied with FSU, winning versus Wake in the first half. So I think that there's something here. I bet it. It's also a team that makes their free throws, which I love. They do struggle in other offensive efficiency marks, but overall, they're a team that will play decent defense, not necessarily fast pace, hit their free throws. And with that first half, second half scoring margin difference, I think there's something there. Only having to lay a half a point with the Irish, I bet it first half. So I would write that's my top bet for the morning games is Notre Dame first half, Max. Any thoughts on that first half bet?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up the fact that they just lost DJ Harvey, and that's 10.7 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and a guy who shoots 74% from the line, plays 25 minutes a game. I don't know if that's going to be a big impact in the first half, but that was something that definitely swayed me towards backing Georgia Tech full game, because I think that DJ Harvey has shown in some of the bigger games, especially versus the North Carolina game, that he is capable. So, listen, if the numbers back up the first half play, then I always support it. I'm just worried about how they're going to play without another weapon that they lost. So,
yeah, injuries are always key. That's a good point. But hey, hopefully Georgia Tech wins full game and Notre Dame wins the first half, and we can both come out on top. Also, we got Steve in the chat box. What's up? Welcome in. Dom, like always, good guy. We got Alex. Welcome in. Drew Daddy, I'm taking first half under in Miami Wake Forest. Expect both teams to come out slow today. It's a high first half total, like in the under. Guys, welcome in. If you're liking the content, please give us a thumbs up, the like button. that does help us out. Big Forever saying team's been starting slow in conference tournaments. A lot of first half unders, full game overs. Okay. Interesting tidbit there, Max. Do you have anything on Big Forever's comment as far as first half unders? You know, a lot of neutral sites, especially like we were just talking the ACC. This will be in a bigger venue, so to speak. So would that have a neutral site? Would that have any impact on first half unders in your opinion?
Oh, I definitely agree, especially with these noon starts and when these teams get into 3 games in 3 days. I think that's definitely going to be an impact. Yeah, both these teams definitely can start very unattractively when it comes to scoring the ball. And I always think that when teams make adjustments and have already played 20 minutes against each other, they're always able to pick up the scoring for the most part. And if you look through box scores on a day-to-day basis, that's what you're going to see. So I would definitely be looking to play it that way if I was playing the total. But I'm only playing the full game under because I am tailing the great Noli Knows.
We got so how long have you been working with Noli Knows? Like a month, a year? What are you thinking as far as time frame?
Not very long. Since probably a little bit into non-conference season. So.
Okay, a little while there. We got Maxwell Smart serving cock soup early. Love it, brother. Good stuff here, guys, from TH. Where you want to head from here, Max? You want to go to Pittsburgh, Boston College? Let's keep it in the ACC.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to that. I'm really excited to watch this game because obviously Boston College has the dynamic duo of Jordan Chapman and Kai Bowman. The biggest question for me and why I'm very ready to either pull my bet or hedge my bet on this game is because there's injury issues for Boston College that I haven't been able to confirm or verify that they will be out. So the Hamilton brothers are both questionable, and then Nick Popovich is also questionable. They were held out in their last games against can't remember who they were playing. But all I know is that I'm worried about if they're actually going to be in the game. I'm going to be on Boston College. I've already capped this game towards Boston College. I think that they're going to be able to limit their turnovers, keep Pitt off the line, box out on the glass, play good enough three-point defense, and make them hoist three-point shots. Boston College has done a good job of protecting the paint, forcing teams onto the perimeter, and taking more long-distance shots than they are accustomed to or want to. This is a Boston College team that's 9-3 ATS on the road, playing 32.5% three-point defense, hitting almost 70% of their free throws. It's just about boxing out for them on the defensive glass. They cannot allow this Pittsburgh team to get 13, 14, 15 offensive rebounds, and that's what's been happening the last couple games. So keep the turnovers down, keep a balanced shot selection, and protect the rim. I think Boston College is able to win this game. This is a Pitt team that has not won on the road. I don't bet on teams that haven't won on the road. I do look at the neutral court records, but still, in this matchup, I think that all three of these guys are going to play, and I think that Boston College is going to win.
I think you're onto something there with the neutral site being really highly correlated with the away record of a team. And Boston College, their last 2 games, UNC and North Carolina State. That was what you were looking for, right, Max?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, losing both of those, 79-66 to UNC and 73-47 to North Carolina State. So kind of getting their doors blown off there the last 2 games of the regular season. Well, we got a bunch more games here, and with some small conference games that are starting to get lines. A lot of these, Max, the lines weren't out too early in the morning, and it is 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. Early for Max, early for me. I know that, Max. Are you feeling all right this morning? Like, how were your sleep habits last night?
I went to sleep around 12 o'clock. I woke up around 6:30, and I'm all right. I just want to get some winners to everybody. I want to get the viewers on in here. Thank you to all 125 or so that are in here. Yeah, I think that it's just going to be, I think we're going to have a good day. I think we're going to make some money. I'm going to be capping all these games and watching these games throughout the day. I already have my setup in the living room, so I'm going to have a big TV that I'm going to hook up one laptop to so I can play multiple games on that. Then I'm going to have 2 monitors hooked up to 2 laptops. I'm going to have multiple games on that. So I'm going to be watching everything. I'm going to be capping at the same time. And when we come back at 4 o'clock Eastern, we're going to have some winners. We're going to have some more picks. We're going to have some more lines. We're gonna roll. That's what we're gonna do. So,
absolutely, you got your setup already, man. Because I love having my setup ready, multiple TVs for the big dance. But you're right, even conference tournament time. I just love chilling in a nice, comfortable couch and watching the games and capping as well as doing both. It's tough for me to do both, man. Multitasking is a little difficult. So the day games are something new for me today, but definitely have it on in the background, especially this Notre Dame Georgia Tech game, the first half anyway. You were saying the Sun Belt games, Arkansas State, South Alabama, Sun Belt, a conference I know you know a lot. This is game number 607, 608, 8 o'clock Eastern tip here. It's a game we can hit on later if you'd rather, Max. Seeing 142 as the total, 4.5 South Alabama laying in this one. Do you have any quick thoughts on it for this morning?
Yeah, no, I'm taking South Alabama, 12-5 in conference, 4-1 ATS versus teams below 500. They play better 3-point D. They can't allow Arkansas State to make 11. They got to contain Ty Caulfield, but watch out for Marcus Eden. He's coming on. They're +5 in first halves, so I'm looking to get on them first half and full game. They shoot the ball very well as of late, 49% from the field, 39% from 3. Arkansas State is only shooting 28.9% from 3, so that needs to their 3-point defense needs to improve and contain them and keep them at that average or below it. They hit 74% of their free throws, and that has been worse on the season, so they are picking it up. Trey Mitchell and Josh Jay combined for 15 rebounds a game. Roderick Sykes in his 3-point shot, that's good enough for me. I think that this is a balanced team. They have a good balanced offense, good shot selection. They're not as 3-point reliant. I think that they're covering this spread at home. I'm taking them on the first half also.
Like in first half and full game, or just first half?
First half and full game.
All right, doubling up on it. I like it. Maxwell Smart serving the cock soup early. Love it, brother, from TH. Don, 7.5 is a good play. Raymond throwing out some shade. Fade Drew play of the day picks. You can thank me later. Ooh, well, hopefully today it doesn't taste good for you there, Raymond. Thank you, Barry. Raymond, a little salty from Drew Daddy, which isn't me. I'm Drew Martin. He's Drew Daddy. We got Fade Raymond Coker's attitude. Thank you, Steve. Guys, you're welcome to say whatever you want. You're not going to hurt my feelings or anything. If I'm losing, I'm losing. But hopefully turn it around here. We got Don saying, this is a great insight, Drew. I believe that was my first half insight. Thank you, man. I liked it as well. Bet it this morning, actually, a couple hours ago. But the first half is still minus a half a point for Notre Dame, I believe. We got, Drew, would you take it at -1? Yeah, I would. The -1 to the minus half a point. Obviously, minus half a point is better. Could end at the 1 number. Max, do you have any insight there as far as numbers taking? And do you think it matters more being a half a point to a point, or would you say it matters more being like 3.5 to 4 points? Or do you think it's the exact same difference as far as the half a point on those two numbers?
Yeah, I think it's the exact same difference. Yeah. You cap a half to a certain number. Every point matters, so you're always trying to get the best line to what your edge is. So that's why always having multiple books, that's the best way to do it. So buying points in the long run will end up putting you minus even. So yeah, I always suggest having lots of books, getting your best line, and if you have your edge at a number, find a way to play it.
Boom. Nicely said, Max. We also got Barry saying, where do you stream all these games? When you're talking about your setup there, Max, how do you stream it up there in Canada?
Yeah, I use the school conference streams. Some of the smaller conferences have their own networks, like the NEC Front Row, like the Patriots held is broadcast by Stadium. Conference USA is on Facebook. Um, there's a whole bunch of different ways to watch these teams online. And then, of course, there's just the good old Reddit streams, but you got to have your ad blocker on because that shit gets real fucking old real fast. So I always find a way to watch some games. Plus, I also have the Super Sports package, which shows a lot of the ESPN games on cable. So I get everything. I find a way to get everything. And if I can't, I ask people on Twitter to fucking send me a link.
That always works as well. And we got Aspire to Elate saying, degenerate gamblers usually don't see 9:30 a.m. Max, I don't know about you. This is early for me to be on a show. And when we were talking about doing 2 shows a day, I was like, yeah, I'm all about it with Max. Didn't really go over the exact time of start of the show. And then got the schedule and was like, ooh, 9:30 a.m. Didn't see that coming. Definitely going to change my sleeping habits. But he's right. Aspire's right. You know, as far as being a gambler and watching late night action, I'm usually not, up at the hour I was up today. 7 a.m. ready to rock with coffee in hand. Were you the same way? Do you usually get up this time of day?
Yeah, I usually get up at this time of day because I usually cap 30 to 50 games. So it takes a while to do. Like I try to give each game at most 10 minutes. And I have to get up early to do that. So you've seen me on low bag. Everyone's seen me on low bag. When I can go rapid fire, that's because I got up at 7 o'clock in the morning and I'm not going to go to sleep until 12 o'clock. But sometimes I'll lay off some of the West Coast games or even pull my bets just because I just cannot stay awake to watch it. I've gone on my YouTube channel where I've wanted to stay up and watch the Nevada game, and then at halftime, I'm like, I'm fucking falling asleep. I got to get off this shit. So I definitely push myself to the limits.
And we got guys asking, the real question is, do you sleep on or with your hats, Max?
That is not the bed I sleep in. That is a bed that is in a room that I'm recording with you guys in. That's plain and simple what it is.
Aspire saying, Jesus, it's early. Early for me too, from Dom. It is early, but there's a reason for it. We got early games, so got to get it out in front of that. Max, do you like the over in the weight game? Any opinion on the total in the weight game?
Yeah, I'm more leaning towards the under in this game. I think that it could be a slow scoring start, and then there's more scoring in the second half. Yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it. I think that this game got over last time just because there was a lot of clutch 3-point shooting and fouls at the end. So I think that this number probably has a good shot to stay under. I would have liked to get 143. But if it's at 141.5, I wouldn't be opposed to jumping on the under.
Okay. We also got Dom saying 9:30 a.m. riser, whether I'm sleeping at 11:30 or 2 a.m. So getting up at the same time. I know a lot of people are like that as well. I'm not necessarily the person on that. We got a couple other questions here we can hit in a minute, but Max, which game you want next as far as these small schools? Any other of them tickling your fancy? Especially the early starts that we can't talk on the afternoon show?
Yeah, no, we've hit all the early games. There's one more game that I made some notes for that I want to talk about, and the line's moving in the direction that I want to bet. So I definitely want to bring that up right now. And that's going to be the Appalachian State Louisiana Monroe game. It's been bouncing back and forth between 7.5 and 8. I'm hoping that it goes to 8.5 because I'm going with App State. App State definitely have to be aware of the fact that they're 0-4 on a neutral court. But I've seen Ron Shabazz put up 47 points and hit 10 threes versus ULM team. Obviously, ULM is at home, where they play a lot better, and they do have a variety of weapons in Dyshawn Smith, Mike Ertl, and Travis Munnings Jr. These are guys that can get to the free throw line, but definitely turn it on in the second half. So the way that I'm looking to play this game is I'm looking to back App State on the first half, and I'm looking to back ULM on the full game. I think that ULM is going to eventually be able to pull away. App State is very two-dimensional when it comes to their scoring offense, and that's Shabazz and Justin Forrest. Justin Forrest and Shabazz have both had good games against ULM, but separately, not together. This is a combination of teams that is 14-9 to the over when the total is between 150 and 159.5. So I have to take notice of that when it comes to betting the total. I'm leaning towards the over in this game. I haven't bet it yet. I'm looking to see where the line goes. Maybe I can get a better number. App State and ULM are both playing some shoddy defense. Both 47 to 49% from the field, 39% from three, and they hit almost 70% of their free throws each. So both teams are three-point oriented, and if they're hitting threes, the over is going to hit. If they're not, then it's staying under. But I'm going with App State first half. I think that they give them a good game. I think ULM makes adjustments at halftime. I think that they come out with fists of fury.
And I'm seeing an 8 on the full game, but Mountaineers looks like for the first half, 4.5. You can jump on plus 4.5. Is that what you got?
I'd rather 4.5. Give me that extra point, half point. Excuse me.
Okay, seeing a 4.5 at Heritage actually. So 4s at most shops. Heritage showing a 4.5. So the App State high water mark there at Heritage at 4.5 max. So and this one in New Orleans, right? The Sun Belt tournament.
No, I think that it's not. I think that they don't go to New Orleans till Friday. I could be wrong on that. Because what I was reading was that it's still at Fant Ewing Arena, and that is ULM's home arena. So I could be wrong on that. I'm not sure. Someone in the chat is going to have to verify that or let me know on Twitter after the show. But I was
you're right.
Trying to figure that out.
It is in Monroe, Louisiana tonight. So that's interesting. I thought the whole tournament was in New Orleans, but I'm guessing the first round is home of the higher seed.
Yeah, I think that only the semifinals and the championship is held at the New Orleans Privateers, home arena, Lakefront Arena.
Okay. Good stuff, man. So that's always a big tidbit there, where the game's being played. Make sure to keep that in mind as we get towards the semifinals and finals of some of these smaller conferences. Also, the bigger conferences, the SEC in Nashville, ACC there. In Charlotte, I believe. Max, we'll hit the chat box a little bit, and then I don't know, maybe shut it down. Should we hold off? I got to give out my best bet on the morning show. So I know the one commenter that doesn't like me very much. I don't think he wants to fade it, so he can fade away. But do you have a best bet for the morning, or are you going to wait till the afternoon?
I don't really have a best bet, because I didn't have the options of all the smaller schools, and what am I? I'm a small school, mid-major kind of guy. So only having my 2 Sun Belt games to really choose from out of my small schools, I'm just going to hold off on a best bet. We do have a lot of action on 5 games from me already, so I think that should be sufficient enough as a volume player. Obviously, I strive to be like the godfather of volume, Greg G. Unit Peterson, but I'm far from there yet. So we'll just stick with that. I'll have a best bet for the 4 p.m. show, and then I may even have a best bet for the low bag show, so you're going to see a lot of me today on SBR.
Absolutely, me too. I'll be on low bag as well in the morning show. I think Max will be on in the afternoon. But we do have a couple guys here saying stay split screen and saying Drew stay split screen. I don't have control over that. That's Rafa in the producer's chair. But I'm sure there's a reason we're not doing. Oh, there it is, Rafa. Dude, that's the man. And by the way, we're getting Rafa ready to talk on the show, to maybe be doing some Costa Rican soccer picks. Maybe some EPL soccer picks. He's a big soccer guy down there in Costa Rica. Went to a game with him, actually. Really cool dude. Drew loves Notre Dame first half. I do. We got to what you on today? I'm late to the show, Brand. I will hit best bets here in a minute, so you can fade away or jump on it. Max, I do got to tell you about one thing, because the guy was in here saying like fade my play of the day, and I'm like, why would he say that? My only bet yesterday was like one of the greatest bets of my life. Not, as far as reading it, but the way it turned out. I was on Wofford -7. It was like my best bet on the low bag show, but we didn't have a show yesterday, so I can't count that as our play of the day. Did you see the Wofford game towards the end, man?
Of course I was watching it. I already lost 2 bets on it, so I needed to win the full game just to regain some dignity. But wow, Nate Hoover, wow, did he take over? He's like, Fletcher McGee, you take a back seat. I got this. I'll get to the line. I'll pump up the crowd. He was a fucking maniac. I loved it. That is what mid-major basketball is all fucking about.
Dude, Wofford can freaking shoot, man. Those guys can put the ball in the bucket for sure. And I will say this, as far as the UNC team, it's a team I would look to bet on in the NIT. I'm guessing they would make. They were a lot more talented than I realized, man. Did you get that vibe?
I don't think it was more talent. I think that it was just momentum. I thought that they were able to chip away, and it was the opposite of what Greensboro's been doing the past 2 games. They got done to them what they did to Furman and Sanford. It happens often in tournaments like this, so I'm not surprised. One thing I will point out, looking at my SBR odds page, Binghamton and Vermont. If you're looking on getting the under right now, go and get on it right now. It's going down. Pinnacle is hanging a 128. I'm seeing 129s and a 130 at Bet Online. I'd be jumping on this under if you're liking it right now, because this number is going to go down. What else? Also, one other thing. UMBC, they're going to have an offensive juggernaut coming in to their arena tonight. I think that they're still going to be able to win. Watch out for that. I'll have a play for sure. Ironclad at 4 o'clock Eastern on this UMBC Hartford game. Definitely one of my favorite games on the board today.
Okay, so that will be part of the 4 o'clock show. Give some more love to the chat box, then we'll head out, Max. We got Wofford plays with no fear from Brant. Jay's saying Wofford is dangerous for sure. What are you thinking, Max? A 7 seed? Will they be in the 8-9 game? Maybe even a 6 seed? Where do you see Wofford?
I see them maybe as a 10. I don't see them that high. I don't think that they're going to get that much respect from the committee, and that's probably going to be based on the North Carolina game. So I don't have as high hopes for Wofford, but I don't really care where they are. I think that they're the type of team that can pull a Loyola Chicago run. So we'll see what happens. But I definitely want to point out that today is going to be a fantastic day to watch college basketball. We have championship games in 5 conferences. We have championship games in the Summit League, in the West Coast Conference with St. Mary's and Gonzaga. We have a championship game in one of my favorite conferences, the Northeast, with Fairleigh Dickinson versus St. Francis, Pennsylvania. Horizon League with Northern Kentucky and Wright State. And, of course, Justin Wright Foreman trying to get to March Madness. Hofstra versus Northeastern. Woo-hoo! I'm excited for those.
Ah, man, good stuff, Max. I know it's going to be a great day of betting, and hopefully we can start it off with a couple winners here. We got, Brant in here, board. Wofford was clutch AF as fuck for sure, man. The game was nuts. Dude, 55-55 with 4 minutes left in the game, Max. One guy from the chat box earlier, he was like, I'm fading you, and he even tweeted me with like 4 minutes left, screenshotted the score, and he was like, I told you so. And then sure enough, Wofford went on that run. I felt like saying, yeah, what'd you tell me? But I think I had a diplomatic sort of answer to him, Try to be friendly, Max, at all costs. Are you the type of guy to be friendly on Twitter, or will you go after people?
Before SBR decided that they would grant me the privilege of employing me, I would go after people on Twitter. I would get creative with how I'd go after people on Twitter. I would do research on people to try and fuck with their jobs. I would devote hours during non-college basketball season to fucking with people that fucked with me.
Well said, man. Max, I get what I don't know, man. I didn't know what to say back to that. Oh man. Well, bump the haters from Dom for sure. Always gonna have haters out there. College basketball all day. The Champions League. I'm pumped. We got obviously he's caught in the middle. I meant to say the guys on the chat giving him shit about SBR not addressing. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. We got some conversations here in the chat box. Are you following the conversations in the chat box, Max? It's tough to when we got the show going.
Yeah, no, it's tough to because I gotta turn my head, and if we're on split screen, then you're just seeing my bad side. So I'm not about that. I'm all about my camera angle. I gotta try and look somewhat presentable with my scruff. I got my college basketball March Madness beard growing in. I'm not shaving it until April 8th. So we definitely will get it trimmed when it starts to get real bushy. Looks like I'm some religious man, but it's gonna be fucking nice and burly. It's gonna be burly, that's for sure.
So you're actually making the conscious effort to grow a beard.
Yeah. I'm shaving underneath my chin, but on my face, yeah. Women are not gonna want to rub their face there. It's not gonna be pleasant.
Some girls like it, man.
Not the ones that I frequent.
So strippers in Canada do not like guys with beards?
I'm not saying strippers. I'm saying the strippers that I'm attracted to prefer me baby face. They prefer to think of me as a younger man instead of the age that I am. So I have no problem with that. Whatever gets them off, that works for me. I'm about putting forth the effort and pleasing my partner before myself, if possible. And keyword is if possible.
Yeah, there's definitely something to do that as far as pleasing the woman first. Max, any closing thoughts here while I get up the best odds on my best bet?
Yeah, no. Just if you guys see yourself losing your bet or you feel that the tide is turning against you, don't be afraid to get on the live play. What I do a lot of the time and what has saved me a lot this season that I didn't do earlier in the year is when I see something going completely wrong and my capping is completely off, I just hedge it. So, I think that we're all very intelligent cappers. We watch a lot of basketball. We understand the sport. We understand the schematics of it. So we're able to interpret what is going to happen. And I think that we just need to use that asset and we need to recoup any losses because we do not want these bookies making $25 million off our losses this month. Maybe someone else's, maybe some non-SBR madness fanatics, but not you guys, not us, not Drew and I. So.
Not us, Max. And I guess I can end it here with the best bet. Feel free to tail or fade. But we got Notre Dame -2, 126.5 against Georgia Tech in the 2:30 ACC tournament game. I'm going to the first half, which is easy to do on SBR odds. You just click on first half there towards the top of the page. And we got Notre Dame laying a half a point or -1, depending where you're shopping. It's -1 at Heritage, -1 at Bookmaker. There is a -0.5 out there at Bet Online. It's also available at Pinnacle, so it's very, I'm not going to say market wide, but multiple sports books have -0.5 point, -120 at Bet Online right now. I got it before the show at -115, so it has ticked up just a little bit there, but -0.5 point, -120. Notre Dame first half. Multiple reasons. I hit on it in the beginning of the show. Last 5 games, Notre Dame's second half scoring margin -5 points average, whereas their first half scoring margin plus 0.3 for the full season in ACC play. And this is a team that's 13-18, and they're actually plus scoring margin in the first half, including winning at Pitt in the first half, tied with Clemson, tied with FSU, both in the first half, and winning versus Wake in the first half. So this is a team, Mike Bray, a younger team, for whatever reason, they're getting after it in the first half, and then kind of not having the juice in the second half and getting beat in these games. They've played competitive down the stretch in the ACC against quality opponents. So I like them here in the first half, minus a half a point, minus 120. That will be my best bet for the day, for the early show. And Max will have his best bet on the later show. So, Max, anything else you want to throw out there before we shut this down?
Yeah, I just want to go over my plays one last time for anyone that came in late. I'm going to take Wake Forest first half and full game. I'm on Georgia Tech full game. I'm on Boston College full game. I'm on South Bama first half and full game, and I'm on App State first half, ULM full game. Any totals that I'm gonna put out, I will put out on Twitter. But come back, watch us at 4 p.m. Eastern. We will have served some cock soup. We will have created a stack to build and save and support local strippers. Because remember, local strippers, they need their chicken tenders, they need their honey, organic honey, and of course they need G-strings, new G-strings. We want to see them wearing a variety of different materials, colors, patterns. We love booty. We want to see the booty. So get that little G-string in there and make us happy. Drew, close it out for us.
The G-string is important. Always have new G-strings, nice G-strings. It goes a long way. The underwear is very important on a woman, and also aspire. I don't sell skinny jeans, man. That's cool, but I really don't. And I'm not an unemployed model of some sort. I'm just growing a beard, and SBR employs me. This is, God, I like it, guys. But come on. I don't sell skinny jeans. I don't even wear skinny jeans. Max, do you like skinny jeans? I feel like it keeps certain parts of your body too close to your body. I don't like skinny jeans.
Yeah, unfortunately, I like to frequent some of the more fast food, unhealthy places that exist in Canada. So skinny jeans are never an option for me. Maybe if I did have the option, I would wear them once. But I love my best friend. My best friend is my Johnson, and my Johnson has two twins. So his twins and my Johnson, those are my best friends. Why would I ever lock them up in pants like that? That's just like prison, you know? No thanks.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Might look good, but I don't wear skinny jeans, guys. I'm just not a big fan. So, like Max is saying, I don't want to do that to my Johnson and his two friends. It's not fun. Anytime I see the guys with skinny jeans, I'm like, I don't know, man. What are you doing? But Maxwell Smart at Maxwell Smart 420. We got Notre Dame first half minus a half a point. Best bet from me. Follow me on Twitter at Drew Martin Bets. Thank you to Rafa behind the camera. We'll see you guys 4 o'clock Eastern for the late show. We'll have best bets then, and hopefully some more winners. And go over the games as far as the bets as well. Max had a bunch of bets. I had the Notre Dame bets. So, guys, best of luck with the daytime bets. We'll be back 4 o'clock Eastern. Best of luck. See you soon.